We are here to deliver a little message. Then, as you come, you share.
Some of us will have to get scarred up a bit, but we shall overcome.
Alguien dijo, ¿quién fue como
This
Martin
is
King? Yo dije, ¿quién fue como Miguel Ángel? Fue único.
Martin
Como
Luther
Mozart,
King.
como Galileo.
Todas sus palabras y acciones tenían un propósito para el futuro.
It's a cruel jest to say to a bootless man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps.
Su mensaje era que o aprendíamos a vivir juntos como hombres o moriríamos juntos como locos.
Come on, as you share.
Question facing everybody under the sound of my voice, not so much who killed those young men, but what killed them.
La gran historia de Martin Luther King es la gran inspiración que trajo.
Little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today.
Are you joining?
Aquel
Are you
discurso
joining us?
fue una idea gigantesca que involucraba a todo el mundo.
El Dr. King no se consideraba un mesías, se consideraba un hombre.
Se veía a sí mismo como un inepto.
So, dear friends, join us. If you see what is happening today in our own time, you can see the history of Martin Luther King, who fought for those people living in America today, who fought for the liberation of black people all over this world today. If we go on and on, you will also see the history of Steve Castro. If we go on and on, you will also see the history of Gandhi. If we go on and on, we will be teaching you exactly what Simon Eber is doing today. And in as much as we have come, we say we will come and teach you what is happening. You must stand up for your right. Standing up for your right is the best thing you can ever do. Let me check this program in English. Some people went to school. They went to school from Nigeria, but they failed to bring good thing. They failed to bring good thing back to the family. What they go on doing
más casas que limpiar,
is
más caldera.
Chapter 1. The Man from Alabama.
yes.
In 1963, a black minister from a small town in Alabama, in the south of the United States, led a march of more than 250,000 people to Washington, D.C. There, he made a speech that became famous. I have a dream,
I have a
he
dream.
said. He dreamed of all the people of America, black and white, living together in peace and freedom. He said that all men and women should be equal. Many of the marchers cried as they listened to him. The minister's speech was shown on television all over the world, and he became a hero to millions of people who saw and heard the speech.
Then, if you are here, if you know anything concerning Martin Luther King, if you are here, if you know anything concerning Steve Castro, if you are here, if you know anything concerning Gaddafi himself, if you are here, you know anything concerning a lot of heroes that has existed in this world, write us comments, because the debt you can pay to me is to write comment. Bring us ideas. This, I have a dream. That is what you have come to teach today. I have a dream. Obama copied this message. I have a dream. and the dream come true, you know. Then MaziNnamdiKanu started again. I have a dream to liberate my people. The same dream, that is the same dream Simon Ekpa has. All these people are making history. Zeke made his own history. Awolowo made his own history. Ahmadu Bello made his own history. Fulanis are making their own history. But where did they get it wrong? Where did they get it wrong? Fulanis is because they gave us option of destruction, option of elimination, option of ruga, and the option of ethnic cleansing. A lot of our people went to school, but they don't really explain to people the real meaning of ethnic cleansing and the ruga. Ruga, as we come to understand the meaning of ruga, it means my land. It means my land. Fulanis, starting from Usman Donfodio, they said that Nigeria is their own land. As long as you know, Okwadike knows that the Fulanis came from Sahel, from Futajelo, because of the shape of Nigeria, then they are claiming that Nigeria belongs to them, you know, but forgotten that there are the re-origin indigenous of the land, and the re-indigenous of the land has come to take what belongs to them. That's why we are digging history, bringing out everything that has happened. You can also understand that long walk to freedom, Nelson Mandela. And if you are going here, we go on in this history before, then you can understand, as in the, if you are coming, you tell us things we should know.
There were also people who hated this man,
who hated
and
him.
his ideas. They did not want Black people to be free. They did not want them to have equal rights. In 1968, less than 5 years after his famous speech, a white man shot him dead. The minister was only 39 years old. When people heard of his death, there was much sadness, and people cried in the streets. But many people were very angry too, and there were riots in the big cities.
So, Biafrans, you know, a white man, after a black woman stabbed Martin Luther King, later a white man shot him to death. Sadness entered inside people. The same way sadness entered inside a lot of people following MaziNnamdiKanu. And when MaziNnamdiKanu said that it's either a freedom fighter is either in the grave, in exile, or in the prison, a lot of people don't really get it. And the reason why we are preaching what we are preaching today is for you to know that before you become a hero, you must have passed through some difficulties before making up history. Martin Luther King today is one of the strongest man ever existed in this life today. He is the person that liberated black people, that made some people travel to America today. And for this reason, we go on to some of our program which we come with. We go on with some of our program which we come with. Here is some of our program. We must show this message because Our people need to understand some things. You bear with me, kindly, because MaziNnamdiKanu told us to go back to school. And as we go back to school, we are also studying to learn how to get it right. But we cannot be afraid of making mistake. Not anymore.
Of the Biafra people.
Then let's go here.
It is also a democratic process. So that is not undermining a democracy. More accepted democratic process is when you give the people choice to decide their fate.
But they have a choice. This is an election which will be following democratic laws.
In Nigeria, Biafra people do not have a choice. And that is a historical problem created by the Britain. So everybody, as you have been a journalist with your experience and the history of Nigeria, you agree with me that Nigeria is a mistake because of the tribal and dangerous diversity in Nigeria, which
if Nigeria, you know why we are doing this and we must be repeating it, because in as much as Simon Ekpa has met international communities, these international communities he met today, this is the dream of MaziNnamdiKanu. He said we should keep on pushing. We should keep on pushing hard until international communities will listen to us. And this is what we are doing. International communities visited Simon Ekpa in this place, and he is now confirming to them that creation of Nigeria is a mistake. The creation of Nigeria is a mistake. And a lot of our people who is supporting P2B and to validate Nigeria, when you meet them one-on-one, you will ask them, has Nigeria done anything good in your life? The answer is no. Has Nigeria done anything to your parents? The answer is no. Has Nigeria done anything to your grandfathers? Yeah, grandparents? The answer is no from this particular people. And this particular people, where do you find them? In the bar. A lot of them are inside bar, drinking themselves to stupor, drinking themselves with alcohol, and inside bar you will see them cracking their brains on how P2B will become the president of Nigeria, and the P2B will then go and remove MaziNnamdiKanu out of the SA dungeon. Then when you ask them, did you hear P2B when he says that Biafra died 52 years ago? He said, yeah, that one doesn't mean. The thing that matters is let Igbo man enter there. Then Igbo man will done, when he entered there, then he will then bring MaziNnamdiKanu out. If we want them to talk about Biafra, then we can go on to talk about Biafra. You know, then you call it beating around the bush. And we in autopilot, we don't beat around the bush. We go direct to the point and how it is happening. That is how we will be telling you how everything you should know. And we listen to Simon Ekpa again. And as we are listening, understanding those things and how to defend our rights, then if you come, you share. Those people in autopilot group, share this message to autopilot group and share it to your Facebook account. We are bringing this history to motivate our people. Even if Atiku win, Tinubu win, P2B win, this is not our problem. Our problem is this, that this flag is our problem. Let this flag be legalized in our own time, so that as this flag, you know, this flag is your pride as a human being. A lot of you knows the importance of flag. A lot of you doesn't know the importance of flag. Your pride as a human being is to wave this flag. Wave this flag. When you wave this flag, you will be able to tell the whole world the meaning of this light there. The meaning of this light here, you can be able to stand firm and let the whole world knows where you come from. This flag is your identity. So we listen to Simon and analyze before going back to our different places of work.
Which is also a destructive diversity. So when you give the people the choice to choose how they want to live, that is a true democracy. A democracy is not when you bring in the military and invade communities, burn the communities because people are protesting.
Write us comment. Our joy is when you write comment. We are 555 vision. Then we have to be letting people know some of things we are doing. This creation of 555 vision means critical thinkers. If you are my follower, you are following 55 vision. Why I always ask, write us comment is think deep. Think deep. Write critical things that will move our brain. If you write critical things that move our brain, we go to Google. We go back to Wikipedia. We search where it is. We search where it is. That is the thing we need. You as a person, you know that Simon Eber is pulling mighty weight today. And it is surprising. And it's become a surprise to everyone. How does the attack of Simon Eber start? From DOS. DOS down to Ohaneze Ndigbo, down to Nigerian government, down. Fulanis has co-joined with the DOS, coordinator, zonal coordinator, HOD and DOS, fighting Simon Ekpa. And you know, okwa agbara nwa awọ bụ lift ka enyere ya. The push you have been pushing Simon Ekpa, if you push him, he will be falling. Little time, Simon Ekpa will fall in the hand of United Nations, where CNN will have no choice. Where CNN will have no choice than to pay attention to what he is saying.
Not the right word.
So,
rather, it's a referendum. It is also a democratic process. So that is not undermining a democracy. More accepted democratic process is when you give the people choice to decide their fate.
But they have a choice. This is an election which will be following democratic laws.
In Nigeria, Biafra people do not have a choice. It's not when you bring in the military and invade communities, burn the communities because people are protesting. You kill them. Is that democracy? Do you do that democracy? Do you do that in the United Kingdom? The answer is no.
But what about your role in all this? Your tweets.
My role.
Wait a minute. Your role in all this, your tweets and your social media. Why the need for violence?
It is.
Yeah. At least 1,500 people died in the last 3 presidential election campaigns.
Was it my fault then?
And there have been deaths so far in this one too.
That's what we want to correct by making sure we do not continue to validate an evil entity that subjects their citizens to death. So the only solution to this is to disintegrate this evil entity and allow people to make their choice so that they can develop and practice politics in the best way possible, just like the Europeans here.
So are you justifying the violence that comes from the kind of stuff that you...
It is not, the violence is not about what I do. It is the provocation of the policy of Nigeria. Okay? So it is a long time bomb coming. So what you see happening now, Nigeria have a history of violence from the beginning of Nigeria. After independence, every election in Nigeria has witnessed violence. So it is not about me. I am here as a good guy to put an end, to have a lasting solution to the violence that have caused the life of thousands of Nigerians.
But do you not accept that some of the things that you say...
Biafrans, what we are doing here, we already know that the religious leaders and the elders of the land, they played game to our brain. And in as much as we finally found out the secret that made Pilate that came from the Rome and become the governor in Jerusalem when Jesus Christ was passing through hell. The elders of the land and the chief priest came together and asked, obligate Pilate to condemn Jesus Christ to death. Now, MaziNnamdiKanu is inside the DSA dungeon, suffering. Do you people know what it means that someone has been discharged and acquitted? MaziNnamdiKanu has been discharged and acquitted. Then, you who say that you are a pastor, telling me to come out of sin, telling me to do good things that I can make heaven, telling me all manner of good things I can do, but you know that above law, whoever that stands above law is making the mightiest mistake of his life. And we have seen pastors working to promote Nigeria, evil entity. Nigeria is sitting on top of justice. Buhari is sitting on top of justice. And when you see some of our people who is now selling akara, selling pure water, or selling bar and doing all manner of business, which you didn't even deserve as a human being, they will tell you vote P2B in. How do you vote P2B in inside a country that has no law? Bible even tell you that it is not good to take a new wine and place a new wine inside an old bottle, or take new wine and mix new wine with an old wine and put it inside bottle. This is wrong before God Almighty. And Simon Ekpa now is now trying to defend what is called democracy. And when you are talking about democracy, we have found out that Igbo people are the people that gave birth to democracy circulating all over the world today. You are living in America. You have watched Martin Luther King, whom you know, a lot of black people is against Martin Luther King when he was fighting for their own freedom. That make you today, you can go to America, you will say, yeah, begin to speak American jargon. It was Martin Luther King stood up the way MaziNnamdiKanu stood up, the way Simon Ekpa stood up. A lot of people begin to attach with them, the one we are doing today. Emmanuel Kanu, the younger brother of MaziNnamdiKanu, says that MaziNnamdiKanu is just the face of this very agitation. He is just the face because we are hungry of freedom. Then, if you know you need freedom, you can come and queue yourself in to those people who is leading. That is why you see Simon Ekpa, he has not even made any attempt of overtaking MaziNnamdiKanu. Inside international communities, he made it open here. He says that MaziNnamdiKanu is his leader. He is working under him. Then, Bible told you, faith cometh by hearing, hearing by the word of God. How do you use your own self-imagination to judge someone? A lot of people in DOS, a lot of people in Rapture Media, a lot of people in Radio Biafra, coordinator, face-to-face, zonal coordinator, face-to-face, says that Simon Ekpa is working for Tinubu. Simon Ekpa is working for Atiku. Simon Ekpa is working for Buhari. Then we ask them, how do you know? They say, yes. Do you see how mighty he is living? Go to their critics. We like to listen to criticisms because through criticisms, you can be able to know, to digest. You ask yourself a single question, whether what is happening and what they are saying is right or wrong. You said that Simon Ekpa is working for Tinubu. Today, Simon Ekpa have seated in front of international communities. You see Garoba Shehu, you see Fulanis, they are now crying. Why is it that the Fulanis are crying today? Why are they crying? They are crying because Simon have the key to destroy them.
From your own perspective, you can translate it and interpret it however you want. But from my own perspective, I think I am the good guy trying to teach the people that they have a right.
So there's no blood on your hands?
There is no blood on my hand. There are more blood on those supporting the election, supporting this particular coming election. They have more blood in their hand. In Imo State, you have a governor that have invaded his own state, killed people, and why are you people not talking about that? Those are the people that have blood in their
Share
hand.
this message and write your comment. The thing you can pay me here is your support.
In their hand,
Write your comment. Critical thinkers, write
I
message.
am just the good guy who say enough is enough. Somebody have to say something and somebody have to do something, and we're doing it.
But couldn't you make more progress if you were in the tent, as it were, not rather than out of the tent?
You can't.
In another country.
You can. Sorry.
You're in Finland.
Yes.
So wouldn't it be better if you went back home and did the political thing there?
You should know. You see, I learn from what happened to others. I don't want to put my life in danger because the country, as far as I'm concerned, does not exist. Any country that does not respect the rule of law doesn't.
So, dear friends, you hear the question they ask him. Why is it that all those people validating Nigeria is very, very conversant, telling Simon Ekpa to come back to Nigeria? Anyone who is telling you to come back to Nigeria, do you think that that person meant good for you? Under your comment here, at least when you are writing the comments, that is when we will know that you are bearing witness to yourself. Those people who is telling Simon Ekpa, come back to Nigeria, just like the Garoba Shehu and those people crying today on the internet. They say, let Simon Ekpa return back to Nigeria and be apprehended. Let him come. MaziNnamdiKanu that is there. MaziNnamdiKanu was there in 2015. MaziNnamdiKanu in the court, he told Buhari that I am in your court and you can't jail me because you don't respect court order. That's what MaziNnamdiKanu told Buhari in his own court. Then MaziNnamdiKanu, they let him go. He went to his palace in Afaruku. As he went to his palace in Afaruku, there the multitude went there to receive the gospel because MaziNnamdiKanu is a prophet. He said he will use microphone to demolish Nigeria, and after demolishing Nigeria with the microphone, then the real physical demolition will come. Now today, you see what Simon Ekpa is doing. All these things Simon Ekpa is doing today is not just by his own power, but he is doing it by the power of God, the power of Chukwuka Abiyama, who sent him to this message. And we have come to preach Biafran gospel. That's why we have 555 vision, Biafran gospel and the Bible. We have to preach it the way it is happening. Try to subscribe if you have not subscribed, because we will be preaching this gospel. The liberation of Nigeria has been destroyed today. People are observing it at home. And the international community, just like this person who invited Simon today,
you scared you might be killed.
All of them, their camera is in Nigeria.
You can say that as well, yes.
There's a bounty on
because yes, there's a bounty on my head because Nigeria, because of the Islamic agenda in Nigeria, whoever that rises up to say something that will, make the life of the people to be better.
Gabriel
They want to
James,
kill
thank
the person.
you.
They assassinate people every day. And today, you
Cletus
see that
Ikem,
there is
thank
a
you.
video that has been released by a man called Ikenga Imo, when an assassin invaded his house and they wanted to kill him. They are police officers. But if there is no CCTV, they will say unknown gunmen. These are the people that are causing all this crisis in Biafra land.
As we go on, if you come on, you share the message. Share the message. Unless one, there is only 3 places. Yes, yeah. We will go on preaching this message, at least giving it maybe 1 hour or 2 hours every day or every 2 days. We are in the high time of restoring Biafra, and you who is blaming me of supporting Simon Ekpa, I will be showing you the reasons why I am doing what I am doing, because we know that Nigeria does not respect law. Nigeria does not respect law, and since they don't respect law, we will help them to destroy the country called Nigeria. This is advertisement.
Well, without that video, everybody has concluded that they are unknown gunmen. Today we have known them. What are the government doing about it? What are the international community doing about it? You are fighting for Northerner as a Fulani Muslim, or you are fighting for Yorubas, or you are fighting for Igbo people. So how can you continue in that kind of system?
How can you continue in that kind of system? That is the question he asked, and that is what we are preaching. A normal pastor has to preach this thing. Anybody who is standing on justice have to preach this thing. How can you be validating a country that is killing his own people? Who send military to Ikenga? Who send military there? Hope Uzodinma. And how does Hope Uzodinma came to power? From 4th position to number 1. He removed Ihedi Ohamma. From 4th position to number 1 position, he removed Ihedi Ohamma. Ihedi Ohamma come out of power, and they put Hope. Now, ask yourself, how are you trying to validate evil? Because we believe that you voting and validating Nigeria is like you will consider yourself as one of those who voted for the crucifixion of Jesus Christ and the saying, let Barabbas go. You know that Jesus Christ is the Messiah. He raised the dead. He healed the sick. He did all manner of miracles in this world, and no sin is found in his hand. Then, elders of the land and the elders of the church, they say it is better for one man to die for many than many to die for one man. They crucified Jesus Christ. Is it not true? Which people send bounty on Simon Ekpa? Let's hear him again.
This is why we must, make sure that we don't validate Nigeria again. So. Yeah. Nani? Yeah, cool. It's a meter. Yeah. Sorry, that's not security. Yeah.
What's your relationship with Mr. Kanu at the moment?
Kanu is the leader of indigenous people of Biafra, and I regard him as my leader.
Do you talk? Do you have contact with him?
Well, we communicate somehow, but that's a confidential issue.
You see, he's disavowed violence. He thinks he's made statements to say that
everybody condemn violence. I condemn violence. I've always condemned violence on social media. Maybe you don't follow that. But where is the violence coming? Who are those committing the violence? They are the Nigeria state. And their intention is to use violence to blackmail what we're doing. And of course, you do not expect people who are Nigerians who are angry, who have lost hope. And the next thing you see from them is when you are hopeless, you become violent. So what is happening now is not caused by anybody. It is caused by the system itself. And until we begin to understand,
ese na ihe dị ụtọ, ikwu ihe ọ na-atọ ka ya. If you say that something is sweet, you will tell us what it tastes like. Listen, it is somehow and very appalling that some people who went to school in Nigeria, they will concentrate on how to speak perfect English, how to bend their tongues, and how to analyze, but you will see them making any point. You see how Simon Ekpa is answering this man. People have painted him all manner of names. People have called him all manner of names. And when Simon Ekpa started this journey, what did he tell you before? He says that he knew the mentality of Igbo people, that he has been the president of Igbo Union in Finland for 4 good years. And through there, he studied the mentality of Igbo man and how to handle Igbo man. And when MaziNnamdiKanu was here, MaziNnamdiKanu referred us to one movie we should watch. How Igbo person is the strongest and the fastest saboteur in this universe. Then Simon Ekpa had been able to know how to deal with saboteurs and how to handle them. The jealousness in the life of Igbo people, in jealousness in the life of black people all over the world, jealousness in the life of many of them. Then, if it is not because of jealousy, MaziNnamdiKanu will not be in the DSS dungeon today. If it is not because of jealousy, Simon Ekpa would have been working with DOS. If it is not because of jealousy, DOS will take advantage of what Simon Ekpa is doing today, because they will be the one to employ him, answering the call which MaziNnamdiKanu says. MaziNnamdiKanu first statement he made was, give him a slot. Second statement he made is, do not encounter anything that Simon Ekpa says. As I am here now, I am saying that what Simon Ekpa is saying, telling me, made sense to me. Then you are there, you will say, oh, why should you say it's making sense? You bring one dangerous argument. You people remember when MaziNnamdiKanu was finding it difficult. MaziNnamdiKanu says that this our movement should be it would have been very, very easy. But when the people is inside the meeting, he will be able to organize the brain of the people. He will be able to organize them and tell them, man, look at the way we should go, and look at the way we should go. That somebody from back will just raise hand. Hey, I have question. The person will just ask one silly question. The person will just get up and ask one silly question, and every other person will then turn around and begin to think the possibility of that stupid question. How does this attack of Simon Ekpa started? This attack of Simon Ekpa started from Turkey. Then it entered South Africa. In Turkey, that one also, he says, and that Simon Ekpa is trying to destroy IPOB. He is working with Fulani. Then the other one in South Africa, he says that his problem is not that giving Simon Ekpa is the problem, but his problem is giving monkey water with a cup. is very easy, but taking the cup out of the monkey, then that was his question. If they give Simon Ekpa slot, whether Simon Ekpa will then later return the cup or return the slot or return the power. This is a common argument. This is how it started. In case of people who doesn't know how it started, this thing started in this form. Ikenga, he says his problem why he don't support to give Simon Ekpa slot is giving monkey a cup, water with a cup is not a problem, but to take the cup back from the monkey is then the problem. This confusion circulated. The confusion circulated. We begin to ask a question. Why don't you people study body language? Because you who is living in Europe, you who is living in America, at least you have electricity in your house. But what is the mistake you people are doing? The mistake you people are doing is because you are in America watching Nigerian home movie. You are in America watching Nigerian comedy, I Go Die, and Basket Mouth. Let's hear Simon again. I'm coming back to this message.
That the violence happening in Nigeria is being generated by the Nigeria system itself. We will never be telling ourselves the truth.
Are you going to rein in your rhetoric a little bit now? Because
How?
we're in the election period. You know people hang on to your words, and it can cause some violence, can't it?
Well, I don't care. You know, we are already at war. In Biafra side of Nigeria, there is a war going on there, and I don't know why medias are not covering it. Do you see a democratic place where the plane will be throwing bombs to the people? It's war. The villages are getting burnt, houses are getting burnt. Even in Ukraine, where you're going to now, the number of people dying in Biafra land are to number the people dying in Ukraine. So how do you balance that? And who are doing this? The Nigeria themselves, the Nigeria state.
So, Biafrans, you know, many people, maybe we left Igbo land, going to Europe, going to America, going abroad with a different motive. Then, in that era, we found out that the motive of sending Western Union every minute of the day is not solving the issue. Sending RIA is not solving the issue. Sending money and helping your father that's supposed to have pension, helping your mother that's supposed to have her own life receiving pension, your younger brothers and younger sisters that's supposed to have free education. Then you are working day and night, taking all manner of risk, taking care of your brothers and sisters, and you never ask yourself question, why are you taking this kind of risk to take care of those people government supposed to take care of? You never ask yourself question. You ended up watching Nigerian home movie where Pete Edochie and Yuri Edochie is doing ritual. Kanayo is doing ritual. Andy Okeke Kenneth Okonkwo is doing ritual, demoralizing you every minute of the day. Demoralizing you every minute of the day. Then, you never ask yourself question. Other people came to Europe, at least you take advantage of electricity. You watch what they call criminal investigation. And when you watch a criminal investigation, you will be able to understand what Simon Ekpa is doing. Let us now tell you something. You can understand Simon Ekpa here by reading what they call body language. Simon Ekpa, since he joined this struggle, he has been broadcasting, showing his video, showing his willingness on how to liberate Biafra and make name. The first day he came on this journey, he says he has come to make history. I watched his program the first day after Ekweremadu beat up. I watched his second program. Then I said, this guy is genuine. Let us pay attention to him. In the meeting, now, what happened? We told them, you can't just go on and accusing someone you don't have any evidence against. You have no evidence against Simon Ekpa, but you go on criticizing him, trying to force people to believe in your shenanigans. Now we have said enough is enough, and Simon Ekpa is making the history he said he is coming to make. The history is now circulating. Now, you people, why are you people spending your time watching Nigerian movie? Some people you already know that you know the system already in Nigeria, but you go on studying in America, watching Nigerian movie, watching comedy, watching Agodai, watching Basket Mat, watching 100 in the comedies. A comedian is someone that doesn't have beginning and the end. A comedian doesn't have left and right. A comedian just come to make joke. And this is what Nigeria promotes. Nigeria promotes them because they are not making sense. They make you joke. After making you joke, Fulanis are planning their own children, circulating their own children, building up their own children on how to conquer your land. Since the time of Usman Dan Fodio entered Nigeria in 1904. To date, they said in 2022, they are carrying out the operation. If you are really joining our program, we will be showing you most of the things the way we are showing this thing now, because this is the real serious time we have to come and they begin to show this thing. Most of you who is following 555 Vision, you know, maybe we stay in the car and deliver the message, maybe however, but we are fighting tooth and nail to make sure we bring a good, we stay in a very good place and they do this thing, how we can do it. But mind you, you are not committing any crime. You are not committing any crime for defending yourself. We hear from Biafran spokesperson and we may return again in the evening.
You know, when the military comes to the village, instead of protecting the people, they get angry because they obey our orders and then they start burning their villages. So we don't want to continue like that. We want to have, the only solution to this is the disintegration of Nigeria. And if Nigeria do not disintegrate now, the disintegration later on will be very, very, very chaotic. It will be very hard before international community, you know, if they continue to let us manage this and force people into election in Biafra land, when this time bomb is going to explode, it will affect everyone.
One last question.
Yeah.
Who's going to win the election?
Election is not happening in Biafra land.
Because you don't want people to vote.
Not me. Biafra have decided. I am telling you the fact. There is nothing that will make Biafran's people to go.
You're so determined.
You will agree with me that Nigeria is a mistake.
So, Biafrans, what we are doing, if you are really understanding what we are doing, you let us know that what we are doing, you appreciate it. Share this message, circulate it to last man standing on this earth. We are not afraid of what we are doing. And if you think that we are afraid, we will tell you that Oyedepo is getting it wrong. He is not the only one that has Bible. Adeboye is getting it wrong. He is not the only one that has. Can you people imagine that Adeboye says lately that God has not spoken to him who will be the president? Imagine someone who says that he drove a car without a petrol. Imagine someone who says that his followers should take comb and begin to comb their hair, and after combing their hair, they will tell them that that your poverty and your enemies have left you. And someone who is telling his own followers who can give 1 billion naira offer He said, God has not spoken to him. God has not told him who will become Nigerian president. And the people is believing this thing. My anger is not those people in Nigeria. My anger are those people living in Europe. Those people living in Europe. Those people living in America. You left your father's land. You left Nigeria. You forgot the thing that chased you away to go there. But when you have difficulty where you are residing, in United Kingdom, in America, in Europe, you will call your mother in the village to tell you what to do. They will tell you, oh, go and pray. Pray Psalm 10, pray Psalm 54, pray Psalm 30, pray this one. Bible quotation of this one say, Bible quotation of this one say, Bible quote. But to the place where you are residing, their children are in the school. The place where you are residing, their people are in job, at a different kind of job. They have job opportunity. The people you will meet inside church in Europe are the pensionists, the people that have retired. Then they will be using church. To pass their time waiting for the day God will call them. Again, they will have what they call health care. Free medication. Then you will stay in Europe, you stay in America, you will stay in Canada, you will stay in Australia. You will be calling your father or your pastor in Nigeria to give you solution on what you will do in America, where you know that your pastor, your father and your mother have not even entered there. They don't even know how it is. You will call them to tell you, give you advice on what to do. Man, you should know that you are turning your brain downward instead of uplifting your memory. Instead of thinking higher, you bring down your brain. The level you have overcome, the level you have crossed over. That is the reason someone make his broadcast yesterday. He says, you are loading car. Yeah, ndimbuka. You will load car. You will be bringing all those old stuff to that place. Then he said, in a container. Then after that, you will visit Nigeria. You will begin to sleep with any kind of girl you see, taking advantage of them, raping them, using money to sleep with girls. Because you come from Europe, you come from America, you make your hair, taking advantage of people. These are the people that are supposed to be enjoying like you. A lot of you did exchange of their children. You change your children to paper, to resident. You left your own father's land. You came to Germany. They gave you father shaft because you have already pregnated a girl in Germany. After pregnating a girl in Germany, then they will give you paper that you can be able to travel back to Nigeria. They will take your own child. You made the exchange of your father with the paper. Am I lying? Is it a new history? It is not a new history. A lot of people, they tell you, oh, you are looking for paper. You will go and they marry a woman of 60 years, a woman of 70 years, a woman that's supposed to is old enough to become your mother. Please, is someone who is writing this thing? Somebody that is old enough to become your mother because of resident permit, you will go and begin sleeping with such a woman for the woman to give you paper, for the country to recognize and legalize you and give you resident permit. If you manage to get some girl that is still fertile to give you a child, then it means you exchange your own son, your own daughter to get resident. Later, you will run to Nigeria. Then you will marry Nkechi. You will marry Ngozi, you will marry Ozamaka, you will marry whoever you marry there. And after you marry, the person will still tell you that he wants you to come back to, she want to come to Europe, or she will remain there in Nigeria. When she remain there in Nigeria, you will still remain the person who will say, hey, that woman is doing this and doing that. Are you people really getting what is really happening? How long? Who put you inside all this Cardinal Perpetua? It was Ohaneze Ndigbo. Who put you under this Cardinal Perpetua? It is the systematic way of the Britain, which they handed over to Fulanis. Then why we are doing this thing we are doing, and we will keep on doing it? If you like what we are doing, support us any way you can support us. Support us any way you can support us, because we will spend time and deliver this gospel. We will deliver this gospel. And the Simon Ekpa said, he is not forcing anyone to no election. Biafran people has made up their mind for no election. But who is writing this kind of junk? You didn't see Simon Ekpa yesterday in the media? Listen, you who is writing this thing, Igwe, preach Igwe. How can you be very, very negative minded? This is 555 vision teaching. If you are here, you're supposed to uplift your memory. You're supposed to uplift your thinking faculty when you are listening to us. We don't come here to entertain you. We come here to make sure that you begin to think critically. Yeah, mental toughness and the mental capability. That is what we are teaching in this place. We don't come here to make joke. We are not the comedians. You don't see someone who made the program yesterday and they promise you to come out today. You will be writing, telling us, asking, imagining that nonsense which I can't even mention. You understand? That is how we debunk such nonsense. We don't mention that in you, right? Because you are not making use of your brain. Are you getting it? It is not an insult, but to direct you. Are you getting it? It happened. How can you tell me it happened today? Are you using your brain? Do you know that the kind of law guiding Simon Ekpa? Do you know the kind of law guidance? Do you think that Nigeria is like Finland? Do you think that Nigeria is like Scandinavia? Do you think that Nigeria is like a European standard? They are now telling you that Igbo people gave birth to democracy, which America is enjoying, which Britain is enjoying, which Canada is enjoying, which Australia is enjoying, which is circulating all over the world. The countries that has not been enjoying democracy is the Africa and the Igbo people that gave birth to what they created. How do you think that someone will go and arrest Simon Ekpa? Who will arrest him? Anybody. Simon Ekpa and then MaziNnamdiKanu de Kujiji Berenamo. Are you trying to understand me now? Why can't somebody arrest MaziNnamdiKanu when he was traveling all over the world? Why? Are you ask yourself that question? Ask yourself such question. MaziNnamdiKanu traveled, he went to America, he went everywhere, all over the world. How can? Do you know what is law? Europe will respect law. Europe is not like Nigeria. So let us hear the brave man again.
Side of my people. That is the dangerous diversity that have brought us this far, because it will never work. Everything about Nigeria is what favors my people. I don't want what we want a Biafra where everything favors everybody. But when you have Nigeria, it is either Fulani. Now we don't even have outside anymore because Fulani have overshadowed them. So it is either you are fighting for Northerner as a Fulani Muslim, or you are fighting for Yorubas, or you are fighting for Igbo people. So how can you continue in that kind of system? This is why we must, make sure that we do not validate Nigeria again. So,
this is why we must make sure that we do not validate Man, stop disturbing me. This is why we will make sure that we don't validate Nigeria. You know that Hausa, before it was Wasobia. Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba, Wasobia. Fulanis, they put themselves, they call it Hausa Fulani. You used to hear Hausa Fulani. Now, Fulanis has dominated the Hausa people. Then, under the Ruga and under Islamization, Fulanis created a law under 1999 Constitution saying that Nigeria will start to speak Fulfulde. They begin to establish Fulfulde in the school, that you have to learn Fulfulde before you can work in Nigeria. Hausa people begin to learn Fulfulde. You can't hear Hausa again. Nobody speaks Hausa again. And now they are penetrating, entering before MaziNnamdiKanu stood up. Ojukwu foresaw all this thing long time ago because Ojukwu knew the agenda of Usman Dan Fodio when Usman Dan Fodio entered Nigeria. Ojukwu knew about this dangerous diversity. This dangerous diversity I'm talking about, a lot of people don't understand it. A lot of people don't understand it. Dangerous diversity. That person who is being confused here, writing jargon, you people should take care of him. Take care of him and teach him, educate him. But if you are here, we are 555 vision. 555 vision. Even if they are attacking Simon Ekpa, Simon Ekpa is the dragon. What can you do to him? We will be preaching and telling you people, letting you people know things you should know, and we have only 7 minutes to run it off. And since we have a few minutes to run it off, so Biafrans, only 7 minutes we have. If you are enjoying what we are doing, share it, support it. Send it in your social media, this thing. Then when Simon come out today or tomorrow, if you want to know the movement of Simon Ekpa, you go to his Twitter. Then you can, from there, you will begin to know, put yourself, you who is writing this thing, are you in Nigeria or are you outside? Yeah? Where are you? Do you have electricity where you are? Where are you getting junk message? Don't bring junk message. They don't try to distract us on what we are doing as well. Fake news everywhere. Fake news everywhere. Fake news everywhere. This is the fake news you people will be carrying along. And let me continue what I'm doing.
Yeah. Nane. Yeah, cool. It's a meter. Yeah. Sorry, that's my security. Yeah.
He said that his security. For you people to know who is standing in front. And you who is having double mind. With his security. You hear it there.
Do you have contact with him?
Well, we communicate somehow. But that's a confidential issue.
You see, he's disavowed violence. He thinks he's made statements to say that
Everybody condemn violence. I condemn violence. I've always condemned violence on social media. Maybe you don't follow that. But where is the violence coming? Who are those committing the violence? They're the Nigeria state. And their intention is to use violence to blackmail what we're doing. And of course, you do not expect people who are Nigerians who are angry, who have lost hope. And the next thing you see from them is when you are hopeless, you become violent. So what is happening now is not caused by anybody. It is caused by the system itself. And until we begin to understand that the violence happening in Nigeria is being generated by the Nigeria system
James,
itself,
thank you so much. Thank you. We must keep the fire burning. Biafra is the rising sun.
How?
We're in the election period. You know people hang on to your words, and it can cause some violence, can't it?
Well, I don't care. We are already at war. in Biafra side of Nigeria, there is a war going on there, and I don't know why media are not covering it. Do you see a democratic place where the plane will be throwing bombs to the people? It's war. The villages are getting burnt, houses are getting burnt. Even in Ukraine, where you're going to now, the number of people dying in Biafra land outnumber the people dying in Ukraine. So how do you balance that? And who are doing this? The Nigeria themselves, the Nigeria state. When the military comes to the village, instead of protecting the people, they get angry because they obey our orders and then they start burning their villages. So we don't want to continue like that. We want to have, the only solution to this is the disintegration of Nigeria. And if Nigeria do not disintegrate now, the disintegration later on will be very, very, very chaotic. To be very hard before international community, if they continue to let us manage this and force people into election in Biafra land, when this time bomb is going to explode, it will affect everyone.
One last question.
Yeah.
Who's going to win the election?
Election is not happening in Biafra land.
Because you don't want people to vote.
Not me. Biafra have decided. I am telling you the fact. There is nothing that will make Biafran's people to go out and vote. This is a life and death matter. We have come a long way. For over 50 years, Nigeria have done all manner of genocide, committed genocide against our people, kill us every day, and you expect us to allow them to continue to kill us, to elect governors that will bring military and militarize our territory? We can't do that again.
That's 11 million votes, isn't it?
Nobody will vote in Biafra land. I am telling you the fact. It will shock the world. We've made up our mind and we know what we have on ground. Nobody will vote in Biafra land.
Even if that undermines the rest of the...
It is not undermining. No. This particular civil disobedience is also a democratic process. And I want you to see it in that perspective. When people say, I don't want, it is their choice. And if you think that there are people who want to vote that are bigger in number, conduct a referendum. As simple as that. For now, we control 90% of Biafra people. 90%.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Very good.
So, Biafrans, as we are about to close, let us let you know we will be having our program where we will be placing our telephone number. Then if you have contribution, you can also contribute. Tell us your idea. Tell us how you like what we are doing. Tell us and motivate us. Any way you can motivate us, we will be bringing time. And all we are doing is for us at the end that we take all the glory. Because one wenta koku ganade ezioku ewere onodo. That is the main thing. If we are not sure of Biafra, we will not be spending our time in this place. But we are sure of what we are doing. Biafra restoration is the only hope Igbo man has in this world today. There is Philip Emeagwali in America, the man who produced the fastest computer all over the world. There is Cardinal Arenze in the Vatican City, who is standing beside the staff of Jesus Christ, which he handed over to Peter. Cardinal Arenze is there, messing around. When Pope John Paul died, Pope John Paul II died. Pope John Paul handed that staff to Cardinal Arenze. But because of impunity, because of all this atrocity going on, that's why Cardinal Arenze has not been able to become the Pope. These world powers say, how can they bow down to a black man? Yet, Cardinal Arenze is now telling me and you that came from Ochukwu Okike Abiama to go and invalidate Nigeria without asking himself. The reason he did not become Pope, they took the Pope mantle and gave to Joseph Ratzinger. And not only that, after Ratzinger left the place, because he was not called to handle the staff. He was not called to handle the staff. Ratzinger was not called. Then what happened? They gave the staff of Pope to this Francis now from Argentina. Another of our teaching, we will come again and maybe tomorrow to teach you when MaziNnamdiKanu was here delivering the gospel of Biafra. Anyone here, as we are rounding up, anyone here, you know when MaziNnamdiKanu was here. The messages of MaziNnamdiKanu is being taught in Argentina school. You know that Argentina has black people. Argentina is the place where Leonard Messi came from. Argentina has black people. In Argentina, they seized them up. When MaziNnamdiKanu was giving his teachings, the teachings of MaziNnamdiKanu was what they were using to educate those people, those black people in Argentina. And you know that Argentina is still under, one way and the another, under the subjugation of Britain. You know. Then, if you go to Colombia, you will understand that even black Colombians are ready to support Biafra. Black Americans are ready to support Biafra. The CIA, president of CIA today, which is the woman I posted in my this thing, her daughter went to school. They teach her, they say that black people in America has no history, that they are descendants of slaves and they have no history. And this woman now says, oh, I don't know if I can get it. I will put it in here now. So we will be teaching our people what they should know. But you people should know that we are not afraid on what we are doing. What we are doing is what law demanded from us. And what we are doing is what Chukwukika Abiyama asked us to do. And that's why we are doing it. We call it a day. Anytime we will come online, if you enjoy what we did today, make sure you put your hand in the share button. Share it. Let people know that 555 Vision has come to preach Biafran gospel. Biafran gospel include all the people that set bounty on Simon Ekpa. The way they set it, the way DOS planned it, the way they sold MaziNnamdiKanu, the teaching of MaziNnamdiKanu, and everything that is happening in politics and religion. Biafra is a free religion, and for this reason, we will be teaching Biafran religion. We will be preaching Biafran religion. Anything that happened under MaziNnamdiKanu. Thank you, all lovers of freedom.